today we are going to talk about all of the books that I read in March, as well as the books that I will be choosing for my April TBR. So let's get started. The first book that I read in March was Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. This is the second book in the Dreamland Billionaire series. They're all right here. This is the second one. It's about Declan and Iris. And just like in the first one, Declan's grandpa passed away, and to get the inheritance that he left him, Declan has to get married and have a child. And Declan is a little bit grumpy and doesn't like people, so this is a challenge for him. He actually ends up marrying Iris, who is his assistant, and we just follow their relationship. We follow how they work together, you know, because it's workplace romance, it's grumpy sunshine, and fake marriage, obviously. So like I said, Declan is grumpy. The thing that got me with him is he is just a smidge too grumpy. It's like coming off as mean. He is nice to Iris, but to everybody else is just mean. So I didn't like him as much as I liked the guy in the first book, The Fine Print. I ended up rating this one a 4-star, and I enjoyed it. I'm really excited to get into the third book in the series too. Then I read Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry by Joya Goffney. This is a young adult romance. It's about Quinn, who likes to make lists. She has her journal. She has her whole life in her journal, and suddenly her journal goes missing. So she and the boy in this book, Carter, go on this little mission to find her journal. Turns out some random person has it and is trying to blackmail her into doing the things in her journal, like her bucket list of sorts, or else that anonymous person will post it for the whole school to see. So Quinn is like freaking out, so she and Carter go and they try and do all of the tasks on her bucket list so that she can get her journal back. It's good. It was cute. It was like, a nice little young adult coming of age novel. It's shorter. I rated it a 3-star. It was kind of like meh for me. It was good though. It was cute. The Teacher by Frida McFadden. And this book is her newest release. Okay, it was good, but it was gross. So this one for me, I rated it a 3.5 star. I read this, I was like slumping in the beginning of the month. Like I was just not reading anything. This was like March 15th before I finished this book. I ended up reading this book in a day. I read the first half of it in one sitting and the second half of it in another sitting. Stayed up like till 2 a.m. to finish this book. The twist got me. Like the story was good, but the things that the characters did was gross. Isaac actually was the one who bought this book. He went to our local bookstore like the day it came out and got this book and read this book. He also rated it a 3.5 star and said it was gross too. But it's a Frida McFadden book. We flew through it. It got me out of my little mini reading slump. I rated it a 3.5, like I said. It was good. It's not my favorite Frida McFadden book. It's not my favorite thriller. It was icky, but it was good. I'm so confused. I'm conflicted. Anyway, moving on. I read a literary fiction. I read Good Material by Dolly Alderton. This one was interesting. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about this book. I don't really read literary fiction a lot. I mean, I guess sometimes, but it's not like my favorite. My favorites are romance and fantasy, and it's not my favorite, but this one was good. It was told from the male's perspective. It's like him going through a big breakup and kind of how he dealt with it all, kind of his thought process going through it, how he overcame obstacles of sorts and stuff. And then like the last couple chapters we get her perspective on everything, so that was nice. But it was good. I rated this a 4-star. And the main character in this, like I said, he's going through the breakup and he's very unlikable, but I think that's the point of it. Like, we don't want to like him, we don't really want to root for him, but at the end of the book we kind of figure it all out, especially when we get her perspective at the end. It kind of like wraps it all up. I rated this a 4-star. Then I read another literary fiction, and before I show it to you, I had gone the whole entire year without a 5-star book. The only 5-star I had was Iron Flame, and that's the first book I read in January, and that feels like so long ago. So I was needing a 5-star read, and I finally got one, and I'm so excited. It is another literary fiction, Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This one is about Daisy, and it's like a historical fiction almost. It's set in the 70s, and it's loosely based on Fleetwood Mac, the band Fleetwood Mac. It's about Daisy, and she is trying to find herself in the music world in the 1970s. So she joins this band, The Six, and it just kind of goes through their career, and it's told in interview style. So it's a really easy read. I read this one in 2 days, I think. And by halfway through, I like had that 5-star feeling, and I actually did get my pen out and start underlining things. Like, that's when you know that it's gonna be a 5-star, when I want to underline things. It's so good. I love this book. And there is a TV show out, and I've heard good things about the TV show, so I really do want to watch the TV show now that I've read this book. And I'm kind of mad at myself for waiting so long to read this, because it's been on my shelf. I think I bought it like this time last year, so it's just been sitting there waiting, and I'm so glad I finally read it. 5-star. Read this. I highly recommend this book. Then after that, I finally finished Heir of Fire. And I think I had like just started this at the beginning of the month, maybe the end of February. I started this, and the first part took me forever to read. I don't know what was wrong with this. Like, I'm enjoying the story. I'm enjoying this series. High stakes fantasy. There's not a lot of romance going on, so it's like a lot of brain power to get through this, and I think my brain was just tired at the beginning of the month because I wanted to pick it up, but I would like 2 chapters and then put it down and start something different because I was tired of it, but I wanted to read it. Does that make sense? Anyway, I finally finished this one. Again, the first part took me forever. The last part took me 2 days. Like, that's where all the action was, and if I flew through it. I love this book. I don't want to tell you too much about this book because it is the 4th book in the series. But it's, again, following Selena. She's our main character. She's an assassin, so she's working for the king, and just kind of her adventures following Crown of Midnight. That's the 3rd one, as she goes through her journey. It's so good. I'm currently reading Queen of Shadows. That's the 5th book. I'm about halfway through it, so that one's going better than this one did. Then after that, I read a thriller. I wanted to read another fast-paced book after the slowness of Heir of Fire. So I read Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. This is my 3rd Riley Sager book I've read. I do like him as a thriller author. He always gets me at the end. This one was good. It was about Jules, and she is working at the Bartholomew, which is like this high society, rich, fancy apartment. So she's apartment sitting basically. And things start to happen. She's there for like a day, and the weird things start to happen. So she kind of befriends some people around her age who are also apartment sitters, and they have to figure out what's going on, why people are going missing, how everything works together. And the twist at the end got me. I ended up rating this one a 3-star. It wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't, awful. It still got me at the end. I was still surprised. But I read Maggie Moves On by Lucy Score. This one was also a 5-star read for me. It was so good. I loved it. It was like, there's a little bit of found family in here. There's small town. There's teensy bit of grumpy sunshine. He's not that grumpy though. Oh, celebrity kind of romance, workplace. Read Mr. Fixer-Upper and the Christmas Fix. It's kind of along the same vibes as that. She has like a YouTube show where she flips houses, and she hires him to be her landscaper for the project that they're working on in this small town. He is amazing. I love him so much. His name is Silas, and hers is Maggie, obviously. Anyway, she goes to this town. She's flipping this house. He's there. It's so good. The found family in this is so good. I loved it. I got emotional at the end, and then I started giggling. It gave me all the feels. 5 stars for this one. So those are all of the books that I read in March. I didn't read a lot. I only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is still good. That's impressive. 9 books in the month of March, and I had 2 5-stars. Now it is time to choose our April TBR. So just like last time, we have our handy dandy basket of prompts, and we're gonna pick 6 of them, and we'll see what we get. I'm so excited. This is like my favorite part, getting new books on my TBR. Our first prompt is going to be a blue cover. All right, perfect. I have a book in mind. I already know what I'm gonna choose. Our next book is Start a Series. Okay, that'll be good. That'll be fun and exciting and interesting. Our next prompt is set in a small town. All right, we all know I love a small town romance, so I'm excited for this one. I feel like we're gonna get a lot of romance this month, and that's with it being April. It's like the weather is getting warmer. I'm filming today. It's like 70 degrees outside, so I'm gonna go read outside when I'm done with this. But I'm excited to get into some romances again. Our next prompt is going to be, it has an object in the title. We'll find one. We'll find one. All right, that's 4. We have 2 more. We will do a red cover. I think I got this a couple months ago, a red cover. I have more books with red. All right, and one more is going to be a reread. All right, I get to reread a book. I love this TBR right now. I am so excited. Let's go pick the books. All right, I picked my books. I have my TBR. I am so excited for this month. It's gonna be a good reading month. All right, so my first prompt is set in a small town. And I do have books on my shelves that could go with this, but I think I wanna start the Chestnut Springs series. It's cowboy romance. It was really popular this time last year, like everybody was reading them. I think the first book is Flawless, so I think my library has them, so I'll get it from there. If not, they are on Kindle Unlimited as well. It's, like I said, it's cowboy romance. I'm not entirely sure what the tropes in the first book are, but I know like everybody has been raving about this series, so I'm excited to get started with it. The next book is Start a Series. Now, I am in the middle of the Throne of Glass series, and I don't really want to start another fantasy series just because there's so much going on there that I want to keep it all straight, keep it all on track. So I'm going to start a romance series. These are all interconnected standalones. I've had them on my shelf for a year. I have all of them. I haven't read them yet. I'm so excited to read them. And the first one is Twisted Love. It is about Alex and Ava. I think his brother's best friend, just based on what I skimmed on the back. I'm excited for this. Again, I have all the books. Isaac's actually read the first 3. His favorite was Twisted Games, which is the second one, and I have a feeling he's going to make me read that one soon. So I thought I'd get a head start and do this. Even though they are interconnected standalones, I still, in my mind, I have to read them in order. So we're going to start with Twisted Love, and it is shorter. So I'm excited for this one. Then I have a book with a blue cover, and I chose the book of Lost and Found by Lucy Foley. As you can see, it's blue. It's kind of giving like, it's a thriller, and it's kind of giving like mansion on a cliff at the beach. I did read a Lucy Foley book back in December of last year, and I really enjoyed that one, so I'm excited for this. I'm excited to put a thriller in there too. I've been like kind of in a thriller mood this year, just because I can get through them fast and just kind of like palate cleanser type books. I'm not really sure what it's about based reading that, but it's a thriller and it's gonna be good. So, and it's giving like summer, spring with the beach, or the ocean, so I'm excited for it. Next, we have our reread, and I'm so glad I pulled this because I have been in like the biggest mood to read Emily Henry again. I know her new book, Funny Stories, coming out in April. I don't think I'm going to read it in April. I think I'm gonna wait till we go on vacation to read like all these new releases. But I've been like in the biggest Emily Henry mood, and I don't know why. Like I want to reread all 4 of her books. I chose Book Lovers. I read this back when it came out. I think it came out in 2022, and I don't remember a lot about it. And I know like I remember it, but I don't remember a lot. And I want to reread all of her books. And this one is like the least summary one. So I thought we could start with this one and go through all of her books, because all my books have been blue so far. Like we have a theme going on. We have a book with a red cover, and I was looking around my shelves. I think we ran across this problem in February when I chose this prompt. But I have books with red, but a lot of them I have red. So we're cheating just a teensy bit, but it's gonna be fine. We have a red spine, and yes, we're gonna start the Magnolia Parks series. We're gonna start it. I read like the first chapter, I think last summer, and then just wasn't in the mood for it, but I'm been in the mood to read this series. It's, if you don't know, it's BJ and Magnolia, and they're like high society London socialites, and I've heard it be compared to Gossip Girl, but set in London. And like if you're like reality TV mood, you'll like this, because it is a toxic relationship. So we're just gonna go in for it for the vibes and see if we like it, and then if we do like it, we'll read the rest of the series. So I'm excited to start my Magnolia Parks journey we're starting some series this month. We're going to the Chestnut Springs series, the Twisted series, Magnolia Parks. It's gonna be a whole adventure. It's gonna be great. All right, then our last prompt was object in the title, and I have 2 choices for this. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna pick. All right, our first option is Rock Bottom Girl by Lucy Score. Rock is our object, and this is the last Lucy Score book that I have sitting on my shelf. I know there's like 1,000,002 more out there that I do want to read, but this was the last one I actually own, and I kind of want to get through her book, all of her books that I own, but I don't know if I want to read. I kind of want to savor it too. I don't know. So then our other choice is Apples Never Fall by Leanne Moriarty. And again, I have a lot of her books too, and this is one of the ones that I have yet to read. And this one is a kind of like a literary fiction with a mystery going on. This is a Peacock show that just came out, and so this book is going around like Book Talk and BookTube and everywhere, and I do want to read it. It sounds interesting. It's about a family, and like Joy is the mom, and I just watched Haley's video where she read this, so I should know what it's about. She and her husband are like the big top dogs of their community, and there's something tragic, I think, that happens in their family, and so we're trying to solve that while going on with their lives. I do like Leanne Moriarty's writing. I haven't read one of her books in a while, actually, so we are at a predicament where I want to read both. I've had both of these on my shelf for a year. I want to read both of them. They're both speaking to me right now, but I think I'm going to choose Apples Never Fall, just because like this one I will always be in the mood to read a Lucy Score book. This one I won't always be in the mood to read, and I kind of am in the mood to read it right now. So we're gonna go with this one. We're gonna go with the nice little literary fiction mystery thing going on, Apples Never Fall. Like I said earlier, I am in the middle of my Throne of Glass journey, so I am reading Queen of Shadows right now. I am about halfway. I don't know if you can see that. I'm about halfway through this one, so I will finish this one in April. Then I will probably move on to the next 2 books in the series. They are Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn, and these 2 you read together. So they call it the tandem read. So they both take place at like the same timeline, but this one is about characters and this one's about different characters. All right, so these 2 you read together but separately. So like you'll read a couple chapters of Empire of Storms, and then you'll read a couple chapters of Tower of Dawn until you finish both of them. So I will be reading them like that. I will be tandem reading them, and I'll probably start this in April. I don't know if I'll finish both of them in April. We're taking this journey like very slowly. We started in January, and then it's April. So we're getting through it, and I'm really enjoying this series. So I'm excited to continue it. So those are all of the books that I read in March, and oh, this is heavy. Okay, all of the books on my April TBR. Can I do it? I can do it. Look at me go. Let me know if you have read any of the books in March or any of the books that I want to read in April, and let me know your rating. Let me know how you liked them. We can talk about them. And I hope that you enjoyed this video, and please like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff, and I hope you keep reading because I know I am. Thank you for watching. Nessie Reads. Guys, I almost forgot. Like, I was about to put the camera away, and I almost forgot the most important part, like the best part of all of this, is I get to open the book that besties Jalen and Janaea got me. So this is the April book. I have no idea what it is. I'm so excited to open it. So we'll see what we got this month. All right. Ooh, 20 Years Later. This is by Charlie Donlia, and it looks like a thriller. I've never heard of this book. I have no idea what it's about. All right, this looks good. I'm excited to read this. So we have a couple mystery thrillers on our TBR this month, and it's floppy too. Look at this. Look at the flop. Look at how beautiful it is. All right, thank you. All right, that's it. You can edit that in however you want to, Isaac. Sorry.